Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is going to after this. And I was out a little bit, but not to have any fun. I want to do my yoga later. So anyway, I hope you're getting out, and I don't know if some of you are back from camping or if you're still out. So I really hope you're having fun, or maybe you're back home, depending on where you are and who you are. And anyway, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome, and you could find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, you could give this video a thumbs up, and you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget, you can leave a message down below, beep, beep, beep. Plus, you can share my videos with your family, your friends. A lion? You got a pet lion? Wow, I would love to be friends with your pet lion. And you got a pet tiger? Can I pet your kitty cat? Starlight loves tigers, and I love all animals, but I would love to make friends with a tiger and a lion. And also, you could check out my playlist, and don't forget the notification bell, like Starlight almost was thinking about doing that. And also, you can check out my Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. So Starlight's jumping right into it today. What a day, So anyway, sometimes we can make plans for what our day is going to be like, and you just never know what is going to happen. So sometimes we have days like that where you weren't able to study like you would have been if things were different. So Starlight wasn't able to study like she wanted to today. So definitely was having some difficulties today. But you know what? We're still going. We're still going. It's only like about half the day. I got the rest of the other half, so I got through the worst part today. So, and that is what this video is pretty much about, is that you are unstoppable, and, when you're going through this journey in life that is, I gotta back this up a little bit, because I read my Bible, and I actually met a man this morning, and I grew up with a saying in my family. My dad always said this throughout my life, two things you don't want to talk about: politics and religion. Wow, isn't that something? Well, I thought of my dad after not that I ran into a man, but I was at one library, and I realized they were closed. So because they were having a meeting, and so I was just being myself by letting a guy know, hey, just let you know that the library's closed. I was trying to save him a trip, and that's all it took. That's all it was, and then my car with a sticker on there, and one thing led to another. But anyway, is that, life happens at times. So you're going to be, the universe, God is going to challenge us a lot through our existence, with people are going to come up, and they're going to, spill the beans, whether you like it or not. And that was one of the conversations. I'm like, you know what? I got to leave. And I did. I'm like, you know what? You're not going to mess with my day by, trying to control me. And the energy was really bad, so I couldn't wait to get to the library to clear anything out, because I was not prepared for this. So so in life, we're going to have people or things or events that are going to happen, and you have to believe, just like I heard a beautiful message today, is that you are protected. And I needed that video. Like, I thank you. I mean, my eyes are full of water right now, tears, because I really needed that video. And I don't know, why do I get like this? I get so emotional over, a video. But over that you are protected. And so that's what I wanted to start off with this video, is that you are protected. And I am protected. I get many messages. I get many messages from God, the universe, and the archangels that I am protected. I am safe. And I do that in the morning. Those are, I actually do my my manifestations, and also I am grateful for my protection. I am. Yesterday I could have gotten in 2 accidents, and I was protected by Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael. They saved my ass twice yesterday. Things that I just, because this is not my location, and I was driving in different areas, and, it just like, whoop, okay, Starlight, like, man, if that just, if I went any further, I would have, it wouldn't have been good. So I am grateful for the protection that I get every day. I ask for protection when I drive, and I ask for protection when I go to bed. Very important, so there's some people out there, a lot of Christians that I've met, they act like they can just walk out the door without any protection. Well, like, I don't know about I don't even want to go where I was going to go with that, because it's like, So anyway, throughout life, you are going to have many things that are going to come your way. And, I did hear this a while back, is, from a deep diver out there, is, and this goes for people that are out there really, really working their ass off, like to, better themselves, and live for God, So if you're one of those people, like a chosen one, a light worker, where you got a mission, like you're finding out you're finding out who you are, you're trying to figure out like what your life purpose is, and, I know we've all gone through some shit in the past, but we ain't done yet, this isn't the end yet. So be prepared. Be prepared when and it says in the Bible, it says in the Bible about, what to expect, being persecuted for God's name's sake, Jesus' name's sake. So, if you're going to live for God, I mean, not a false God out there, because there's lots of people that claim, quote, they claim that they're Christians, and they're in false churches, cult churches. And I question that, really. If you are really truly saved, you would want to get out of those cult churches. And first you got to realize that you're in one in the first place, So, and a lot of those cult churches, they will hear rumors and gossiping that their church is a cult church, but the pastor will say, don't listen to those people that say this to you. So those are the people out there. If you've heard rumors and gossip about that your church is a cult church, maybe they're really being honest with you. Maybe you really are, because the church that I came from, there's a lot of gossiping and rumors going around about, guess what though? I found out. I had to be the private investigator to jump in there to find out, is this stuff real? And you know what? I got out alive. When I say alive, I got out alive. And I have to say, that was real gossiping and drama that was going on about that church. But I got free because I begged God. I did. I prayed all the time, every day, for God to free me from that church. So anyway, is, like out there in the world, is that, if you're living for God, if you're trying to become your greatest version, if you are out there, like you got like some kind of mission, you could try to be, you could be a person, because there's all different types of kings and queens out there. And I didn't know that until my mentor was teaching us years ago, And then I discovered I was a queen. I am a queen. So is that there is people out there that are trying to help people to eat healthier. There is people out there that, they got different gifts than what I have, So there's people that, are fitness people. They want you to stay fit, take care of your body, but then they're, connected to God. Then there's people out there that meditate and do tarot card reading and astrology and all that stuff. So there's all different kind of things that people are doing all around the world. It's just not in the United States, it's everywhere. If you're not working on yourself, you're not going to even notice really what is going on behind that curtain. So there's a lot of beautiful people out in the world all over, that are out there. Like Starlight is out here. It's about, my mission here is huge. I feel it's bigger than I can even imagine. But I got sent here, from God, and, I can do this. I have everything that I need for this mission. So I just have to, sorry, my nose is dripping here, I have to do the inner work, and I gotta, do my affirmations and do all this stuff, and, meditate, work on myself, love people, send love out in the world, and, like to talk to people, reach people, teach, people the things that I've learned, and it's not about just the homeless people, but it's really, I'm trying to help everybody out, and the homeless people, for the future of the generation, for the kids. So it is a lot of work, but you know what? I am powerful. I am powerful, and I am a spirit being having a human experience, multi-dimensional being having a human experience here on a life journey, on a self-discovery, spiritual journey to, go out in the world and take that step of faith, let love guide me, not fear, and, do what God actually is guiding me through the archangels in the universe, to do out here, so I need all the love and support from God, the universe, the archangels of light, people out there that are loving, supporting me, and we are unstoppable. Like the I ams, those are very powerful. Those came from the Exodus, with Moses. And I did make a video a while back. I wish I went in a further depth, like study my Bible a little bit on that video, because that was an excellent, I love the book of Exodus. The book of Exodus freed me from a cult church. It really did. I wanted to be free. And, I thank God for freeing me. I am free, and now I just help other people as to, you could do whatever you want, but you know what? I just want to protect people from going into those kind of churches like that. So anyway, you got to understand is that you're going to have family. If you're living for God, you're going to have family that are going to trip you up. You're going to have, people that you think are your friends are going to trip you up. You're going to have people that say they're there for you, and then they got, what did you do, Starlight? Yeah. I said the truth, and it will set me free, you got to really, and that's the whole thing is, because this happens a lot on my YouTube channel where I offend people. Sorry, but I really shouldn't even say sorry. It's not my problem if you got offended. It's more the person that's getting offended. It just shows that they have more work to do in their life, and there's levels to this, to everybody as far as growth goes. And today with the man that I met this morning, he was very pushy, and it just, I knew there was some kind of uncleanness in him because the way he was pacing back and forth, up and back, doing this and that, and he just, he just wanted to look for an argument or something. And Starlight's like, talk to the hand, I'm out of here. I'm not gonna, he asked me if I had a few minutes. You know what? Your time is up. So Starlight is getting, and I do have to, my brother's not around anymore, but he really did, when he was around, when I used to hang out with him, he did really challenge me, and he did get me to use my voice. He got me, roar, So you know what? We need that in this world, is to, don't put up with people's shit anymore. Everybody has opinions. Now my armpits, they probably smell pretty good, but we all have buttholes, and they stink, So, so with that is that, we don't need to listen. You don't need to listen to people's opinions because, it's just their opinion, and I have plenty of my own. It's really, you need to listen to yourself on what God is telling you. What is God revealing? Because, like this person this morning, he was getting offended because, he's trying to feel me out and trying to see where I am and who I am and what I'm about. And, so I wasn't going with the flow with it, and I realized, okay, this is a distraction. I'm trying to get somewhere. And I gave you a little bit of a few minutes there, and when I realized, hey, I gotta go. I got shit to do, man. So, and I did. I'm so proud of myself. I'm giving myself a pat on the back. Not everybody is out there going to give you a pat on the back. So you're the one that's got to give yourself your own pat on the back. Just keep doing it. Say, good girl, Starlight, or, whoever you are, is say, you know what? I'm proud of myself. I kept to my guns. I'm not going to bail down to somebody, to somebody else's, and they're, that we're all in different areas in life, as far as levels. I know somebody that has been doing this longer than I have, so I can learn a lot from that person. Like my mentor, he's been doing this for a long time, and he studies, and he knows stuff. So with that is, I'm gonna get a lot of help from him. Where other people that you meet out in public, like yesterday, I prayed that I would meet a like-minded person, and I did, and they it's kind of strange is he invited me to his motel too, and to take a shower and even spend the night there. And I'm like, Starlight knows better. I don't even think he was up to no good. It's just that I don't know you, and I just learned on this journey that stuff never seems to work out. I'm better off on my own, doing my own thing, helping other people. So you got to protect yourself and your energy around in your circle, and there, like I said, there's going to be people that, that man this morning, that was just like an attack, going on. And I'm like, nah, I'm not, it started this morning by somebody honking their horn behind my ass and thinking I'm going to move faster. You know what? I'm in no rush. Guess what? There's 2 lanes. I need to be on the left lane right now because I'm going to be taking a left-hand turn. You know what? I'm not going to, I just, when they honk their horn at me, I'm like, beep, beep. I'm not letting that stuff affect me anymore. So, you don't let people run you over. Don't let people try to control you. Is that you have to be the man or the woman driving that car. And, don't let people get you angry and upset because you know what? It's stealing, that's exactly what they want, your energy. And I just told my brother that not too long ago, I said, don't let them see you get angry. Don't let them see it, so you really do. You got to stand up for yourself, and, you are protected. And I ask for protection. I get numbers all the time, and it's been mind-blowing. Like today, I got the 1111 twice. And I can't even prove it because I threw the slip away. I had a slip from the computer today where it gives you a number for the computer, to log in. And there was 4 ones in there. So today I got the 1111 twice. Yesterday I got it yesterday. So anyway, it's so important to, really know know the people that you're around, and, You'd be surprised how sometimes you might think a family member or a friend, and out of the blue they just change on you. It could be it normally it's going to be the ones that are the closest to you are going to be the ones that are going to say something to try to trip you up or to try to make you question your own insanity. Where you'd be like, so you really got to pay attention to the people that you have around you, and in your circle. and ask yourself, is this person helping me? Or is this person a distraction? Is this person trying to pull me back? Is this person giving me a hand and saying, hey, I'm here to help you? So you got to understand is that you are unstoppable. You're going to have challenges in life, and you got to just keep plowing away. Sorry, that's what I learned in the Bible is just keep plowing, just keep going. Don't let all this stuff, distract you or pull you back or get you to question your own, your plans that you have, because it doesn't matter if anybody agrees with what you're doing. Do what you want to do as long as you're not hurting yourself or other people. You're trying to better and help people out. What do they got to say? So you're going to have more challenges as you go, like a video game. I have to keep on saying, like a video game, the higher, the games, the more games that you win, each, I don't know what they call it, phase of the game, like you got game 1, 2, 3, then you're going to get more challenges, and it's all little, it could be bits and pieces of different things to test you out, to test your heart, to see how you're going to respond. And that's what I've been trying to help my brother out recently, is like, yeah, I'm like, now it is awesome. I'm seeing things that I wouldn't have seen before. And it's because I'm doing the inner work on myself and doing guided meditations. My intuition is strengthened. I'm like, wow, I'm picking up stuff that I knew about, but now it's more obvious than it was before. So, you got to understand, as long as you're protected, right? I hope so. I had a guy last night, he overheard Starlight, because Starlight was out there talking to a crow, and I didn't know who was behind me because I was facing this way, and the crow was getting my attention. They know Starlight. Everywhere I go, crows know Starlight. So they're like, oh, oh, and I'm like, oh, oh, and they're like, oh, oh, oh. I'm not even going to do it right. Oh, I can't do it because it echoes in this room. But whatever they were saying, I was saying, and we were going back and forth like this for a half hour. I'm like, crows, I am trying to edit my videos here. And they just and they wanted my attention so bad. They actually flew further away and like, oh, 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 oh. And I'm like, ah. And it's so funny though, a guy witnessed this whole thing back and forth. And then so he came to me, talking to me. So with him, I'm trying to think now why I was saying all that about the crows. But it is beautiful how, he was just like really thrilled to see how I was doing that with the crow. He was blown away. But he is on a journey and he's going through some stuff, So it is amazing how, people that come into your life. And, that's what I was saying is that I prayed for a like-minded person yesterday. I said, it's so funny. I'm like, God, could you put a like-minded person in my path today? I've never been to that library, my first time, and it was really cool getting to talk to him, for a little bit and, hearing what he's going through. So there's people out there, that could be doing something similar to what you're doing. And so you got to really, that's what it was. Now I remember why I brought that guy up, is that because he was trying to invite me to the hotel, that he was staying at. Ian invited me there. He said there's 2 beds and there's just, man, the shower sounded good, really. If I, can I wouldn't even want to go in to take a shower and back out. Anything could happen. It's like, Starlight's good. But, so he was just curious. It's like, how long have you been on this journey? And I said, more than a year right now. Actually, it's a year this month, October. And he's like, wow, he just was completely surprised. And because a lot of people will ask me this question, but I don't tell people where, is that, hey, where do you park? That is a definite do not say, I don't tell anybody, where I park, because he's having a hard time finding and this area is really hard to find a place to park. And he's like, aren't you scared? You know how many times I've had this happen to me with people, from the moment I left, before I even left New York, where people were trying to fill me up with fare before I even left, and I said, I am protected. Even Christians have been blown away. Don't we serve the same God? don't get it. And then they get offended. They get offended. I offend them. How did I offend them? Because I'm saying I am protected. I'm protected by the God, Almighty God. And Christians are like, she sleeps in their car with the windows open? You're a pastor, right? Aren't you supposed to believe that God can protect me? So it is kind of weird, but this guy here, even before he left, he's like he's just like dumbfounded. Like, and sometimes people will do that to me. They'll try to plant fear, the seeds of, planting seeds of fear in my subconsciousness, to try to get me afraid. I said, you know what? I've been doing this like for a year, living in my car. And I've had some scary moments. Yeah, my windows are open, but I pray every night for a shield of protection. And I said, it works because I am protected. So, is that you're protected. That means you're unstoppable. Nothing is going to stop us. Even the love that I have, nothing can separate the love that I have for somebody. Nothing can stop me on this mission here. I am unstoppable. I am protected. You are unstoppable. You just have to believe it and just keep plowing through. No matter what you hear out there, no matter what people try to, scare you with, like on the news or wherever, is that you got to believe in yourself. Do you even believe in yourself? Because there was a time that I didn't, but now I do. I fully believe in myself. I'm like, man, if I got through all that shit, man, the stuff that I survived before I even got on this mission, shit, man, I survived a lot of shit back there. That gives me the tools to survive whatever I got to face now. So I have all the tools, and that's what I've been telling homeless people this. I said, you know what? All the stuff that you went through, you had to go through all that because now you got the tools. Now you have exactly what you need to get through the rest of your life with, whether they got that or not. So you have everything that you'd ever even imagine. It's all in you. You got the tools, all the experience and the wisdom and knowledge. Shit. I'm using all that stuff on a daily basis, Oh yeah, I did that long time ago. Why was Starlight doing that long time ago? That was a part of the survival mode that I was in, Starlight's a sneaky little girl here. So anyway, you are unstoppable. Don't let anybody come in your headspace or your thoughts and your ears and try to plant you with fear and doubt and, worrying about this and that. Give all your worries and doubt and fear to God. God will gladly take it and the angels will help. You want help with being protected, I'm a girl and here, there's men that were not even sleeping in their cars with their windows open, My doors are locked. Of course, yeah, Starlight, the angels will wake me up. Believe me, I've had crows wake me up in the morning to get me up out of bed. I've had, if I wanted an alarm clock, God has ways of waking me up without alarm clock. If I said, God, angels, could you wake me up this morning at 4 o'clock? I bet you somehow or another something's going to wake my ass up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I've done this. I've actually had where I needed to wake up. I wanted to wake up so I get more time in the day. And I prayed before I went to bed. And would you happen to, this has not only happened, this has happened many times before where I used to park my car. And so I couldn't believe it. Early in the morning, some weirdo out there, why are they doing it? But it woke me up. They actually drove around like a half circle around me. Beep, 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 beep. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like waking up. I'm like, ah. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, because I asked God to wake me up this morning. So, it is funny. It is I'm like in a world of my own here, how things really happen when you're on a journey like I am. So you know what? You are unstoppable. If you got through what you've gotten through in the past, it's like it says, what does it kill you? It makes you stronger. Shit. What can I say? So anyway, I love you so much. This is Starlight. You can give this video a thumbs up. You are strong. You are unstoppable. You got to believe in yourself and trust and know, and you're protected. Shit, man. What more do you need? So anyway, I love you. Like I said, you can give this video a thumbs up. You can subscribe. You can also leave a message down below, beep, 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 and you could share my videos with your family, your friends. A hippopotamus? Wow, you got a hippopotamus and a camel? I never went on one of those. I would love to go on a camel. I know my ass would hurt after that, but wow, a pet camel. Where do you live anyway? And not only you could share my videos with a pet camel, is you can also, don't forget the notification bell, and Starlight's got a runny nose. So besides a runny nose is you can also check out my playlist, and also follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, and that is also on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Ding with Starlight. So I'm so excited. I mean, you wouldn't even think the way if you only knew what my morning was, and I'm all excited today, ping, that was gone. Right now I'm in the now, that was then, this is now. So, I love you so much, and thank you so much. I needed this so much today, that video out there. I love all of you. You are unstoppable. You are unstoppable. We're all unstoppable. You got to believe that. I love you so much. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.